Ever find yourself longing for the bygone days of summer when you were a kid? Well, today I'm making a dessert that harkens back to my years as a child, having a special little treat at my grandmother's house. This is her 5-layer delight, and I am delighted to bring it to you. Thanks for joining me today on Susan's Cozy Kitchen. First, I have a cup of all-purpose flour in my bowl. To that I'm going to add just a sprinkle of salt, a stick of butter, which is a ½ cup of butter, and then a cup of finely chopped pecans. You want your butter to be room temperature for this because you want it to mix together easily. The thing with working with butter and a pastry blender, it ends up doing this. So that's why I have a little spoon here, just raking it off every now and then I continue blending. While I'm doing this, I have my air fryer preheating 300 degrees. It'll be preheated and ready for me to put the crust in as soon as I've finished mixing it. The butter's mixed in now, and now I'll give this a stir to work in any of the last bits of flour that might be hanging out around the edges on the bottom. 9 by 13 pan. Okay, now spread the crumbs all the way across, and then use the best kitchen utensils made, your 2 very clean hands, and just press the crumbs down into the bottom of the pan. You can see right here what the crumbs look like once I get them pressed into the pan and ready to pop into the oven. And now I'm going to bake it at 300 for about 17 or 18 minutes in my air fryer. If you're using a conventional oven, 325 for 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, it's been about 16 minutes. I just checked it. It's not quite ready yet. A couple more minutes and it should be time to take it out. Okay, let's check. Lightly brown. It feels firm. I say it's done. While we're waiting for the crust to cool, let's go ahead and get started on the first layer of filling. This is one of my favorite layers. That starts off with a block of cream cheese that you've let come to room temperature. To the cream cheese, I'm going to add a cup of confectioner's sugar or powdered sugar. Let it start blending. I always like to add just a little bit of vanilla extract to it, and anything this sweet needs just a little salt. Probably wasn't even a quarter of a teaspoon. And you just want to mix it until it's smooth and blended together. The next step is to fold in half of this 16-ounce container of Cool Whips. I'm just going to gently fold this in. And then it says once it's folded in to mix completely. You know, I was never at my grandmother's house when she made this, so I have no idea if she used the mixer to do it or if she just mixed it by hand. I think I'm just going to keep going by hand, get everything incorporated, and then have it ready to spread onto the crust once it's cool. I'm just going to keep folding it in. Now I'm just going to stir it to help the cream cheese really mix in with it well. Once it's all mixed together, it looks something like this. Crust is still pretty warm. I think I'm going to put it and this into the refrigerator. So while the crust and the first layer are in the refrigerator chilling, I'm going to go ahead and start the next layer, vanilla pudding. This recipe calls for 2 boxes and 3 cups of milk. So you want it to be a little bit thicker than regular pudding because you want it to be able to stand up to being sliced. You don't want it running out all over the place. So first, here's the second. Here's 2 cups of milk and the 3rd cup of milk. Just going to turn this on and let it start mixing. Now that this has gotten everything mixed together, I'm going to turn it to medium and let it mix for 2 minutes. Okay, it's been 2 minutes. Let's turn it off and check the pudding, make sure it's thickened. All right, the crust has completely cooled. These are chilled. So let's start putting this together. The first layer is the cream cheese with powdered sugar and Cool Whip added to it. Smooth it evenly across the top. That's nice and smooth. Time to follow it with this. First layer is the crust. So there's our second layer. Time for the third, the vanilla pudding. And then spread it evenly. Okay, there's the third layer, the vanilla layer. Now I'm going to pop this back in the refrigerator while I put together the chocolate layer. So we have the 2 packages of instant chocolate pudding now. Here's the first 2 cups of milk, 3rd cup, and on we go. Okay, to start off, you just want to let everything get mixed together. Turn it to medium and let it go for 2 minutes on medium. You know the drill by now. Time for this layer to go on top. Very gently smooth the chocolate pudding on top of the vanilla pudding. You want each layer to be distinct. Take your time. There's the chocolate layer. And it's time to do the final layer, Cool Whip. This is so simple to put together. The trick is don't get in a hurry. Take your time, spread it out very carefully and evenly, and it comes together exactly the way you want it. There is the whipped cream layer. And now on top, I'm just going to sprinkle some pecans. So there we are. There is the pecan layer. Please be sure that you store it in the refrigerator. I hope you've enjoyed taking this walk down memory lane with me today as I made my grandmother's 5-layer delight. If you enjoyed today's video, please be sure to give it a like. If you haven't already, subscribe, and please be sure to hit that notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you'll know. Thank you. God bless.